The crystal chandelier above table 12 catches the light like frozen fire. Maya Chun, 9 years old, sits straighter in her chair, trying not to stare at the gold-rimmed plates, the folded napkins shaped like swans. Her mother, Elena, reaches across the white tablecloth and squeezes her hand. "Happy birthday, baby," Elena whispers. Maya smiles, but guilt twists in her chest. She knows what this dinner costs. She knows her mother worked double shifts at the hospital for 3 weeks to afford one night at Ravenna, the kind of restaurant where people wear watches that cost more than their rent. "Mom, this is perfect," Maya says, meaning it. Elena's eyes glisten. "You deserve perfect." Maya excuses herself to find the bathroom, walking past tables where men in suits discuss stock prices and women laugh behind wine glasses. The hallway near the restrooms is quieter, lined with dark wood panels and soft lighting. She's about to push open the bathroom door when she hears voices, low, urgent, speaking Russian. Her father's language. Maya freezes. She taught herself Russian from old books and YouTube videos, desperate to hold on to something of the man who vanished when she was 4. The man her mother refuses to talk about. The voices come from an alcove near the kitchen entrance. 2 men in expensive suits, heads bent close. "The ricin goes in the branzino," the first man says. Dmitri confirms Volkov always orders it. "And the antidote?" the second asks. "We take ours before we eat. Volkov dies within the hour. Looks like natural causes, bad fish, weak heart." Maya's breath catches. She presses herself against the wall, heart hammering. Marcus Volkov, the first man continues. The steel wolf thinks he's untouchable. Tonight, he learns otherwise. What about witnesses? There's a private room booked. Only his bodyguards. We're at the next table. When he collapses, we express concern, call for help. By the time anyone realizes, we're gone. Maya's hands shake. Marcus Volkov. She's heard that name on the news. Crime lord, businessman, the man who controls half the city's underground. A man people whisper about with fear in their voices. The bathroom door opens. A woman exits, heels clicking. The Russian men stop talking instantly, glancing toward the hallway. Maya ducks into the bathroom, pulse racing in her ears. She stands at the sink, staring at her reflection. A skinny girl in a department store dress, too small to matter, too young to be believed. But her father's voice echoes in fragmented memories. Intelligence without courage is useless, Malishka. Courage without intelligence is reckless. You need both. Her father, who spoke Russian. Her father, who disappeared. Her father, who told her stories about firebirds and brave children who changed the world. Maya takes 3 deep breaths. She thinks about walking back to her table, eating her pasta, pretending she heard nothing. She thinks about men dying because she was too afraid. Then she pushes open the bathroom door and runs. The private dining room is just ahead, double doors opened by a server carrying wine. Maya glimpses a man at the head of the table, silver hair, sharp suit, eyes like winter, as a waiter approaches with a covered dish. Maya doesn't think. She explodes through the doorway, voice ringing out in the sudden silence. "Don't eat that fish." Every head turns. The waiter freezes. Marcus Volkov's hand stops halfway to his fork. 4 bodyguards surge forward, hands reaching inside jackets. And Maya realizes she might have just made the worst mistake of her life. The bodyguards move like shadows, surrounding Maya before she can blink. Hands grip her shoulders, not rough but firm. Immovable. One man speaks rapidly into his wrist, eyes scanning the dining room beyond the doors. "Wait." Marcus Volkov's voice cuts through the chaos like a blade through silk. Quiet, but absolute. Everything stops. He studies Maya with those winter-gray eyes, reading her the way some people read books. Then he gestures, a small movement of 2 fingers. The bodyguards release her but don't step back. "Come here, child." Maya's legs feel like water, but she forces herself forward. The private dining room is smaller than she expected, elegant and intimate. 6 chairs around a table set for 1. The covered dish sits untouched, steam curling from beneath the silver dome. Volkov leans back in his chair, perfectly still. "You burst into my private dinner. You're either very brave or very foolish. Explain." Maya's mouth is dry. The Branzino is poisoned. Ryson. 2 men in the hallway, Russians, they're planning to kill you. They're sitting nearby, they'll take an antidote first, make it look like food poisoning. If you're enjoying this story, please subscribe and stick around till the end so you'll rate this story from 1 to 10 in the comments. Alright, let's continue. The room goes electric with tension. One bodyguard, tall, scarred, with the build of a professional fighter, moves toward the doors. Volkov stops him with a glance. How do you know this? Volkov asks Maya. I heard them. Speaking Russian. In the hallway 5 minutes ago. You speak Russian? Yes, sir. Where did you learn? Maya's throat tightens. My father. He used to speak it. Before he left. Something flickers in Volkov's expression, too fast to read. He looks at the scarred bodyguard. Leo, check the fish. Carefully. Leo lifts the dome with a napkin, peers at the perfectly plated Branzino, then uses a knife to separate a small piece. He pulls out what looks like a pen but isn't, some kind of chemical tester. 30 seconds later, his face goes hard. Positive. Ricin derivative, high concentration. The other bodyguards react instantly, hands on weapons. Volkov remains perfectly calm, but Maya sees his knuckles whiten against the armrest. Describe the men, Volkov says quietly. Maya closes her eyes, pulling up the memory. Early 40s. One had a gray suit, gold watch, scar on his left hand. The other wore navy blue, short dark hair, accent from Moscow, not St. Petersburg. Volkov's eyes narrow. Leo, discreetly identify 2 Russian men matching that description in the main dining room. Do not alert them. Leo nods and slips out. Volkov turns back to Maya. What's your name? Maya Chun. You're here alone? With my mother. Table 12. It's my birthday. For the first time, something almost human crosses Volkov's face. Almost. Happy birthday, Maya Chun. You just saved my life. I didn't know what else to do. Most people would have done nothing. Self-preservation is a powerful instinct. He studies her. But not you. Why? Maya thinks about lying, about giving some noble answer. But those eyes see everything. My father used to say that courage and intelligence together can change the world. I thought, if I did nothing, I'd be letting him down. Even though he's gone. Volkov is quiet for a long moment. Your father was a wise man. Leo returns, leans close to Volkov's ear, whispers something. Volkov's expression doesn't change, but the temperature in the room drops 10 degrees. Maya, I need you to do something for me. Go back to your table. Act normal. In 5 minutes, my men will handle this situation. But right now, those men don't know they've been discovered. If they see you here, if they realize what you've done. He doesn't finish. He doesn't need to. Fear floods Maya's veins. They'll come after me. Not if they're in custody first. But we must move carefully. He signals another bodyguard. Ghost, escort her back discreetly. Then position yourself near table 12. Nobody gets within 10 feet of that child or her mother. The bodyguard nods, a woman Maya realizes, with sharp features and faster eyes than anyone she's ever seen. Volkov looks at Maya one more time. You did the right thing. That takes more than courage. It takes character. I don't forget debts, Maya Chun. Especially life debts. Ghost touches Maya's shoulder gently. Come. Quickly. As Maya leaves, she glances back. Volkov is already on his phone, voice low and lethal, giving orders in rapid Russian. The last thing she hears makes her blood freeze. Find out who ordered this. And Ghost? Keep the child safe. Whatever it costs. Elena looks up as Maya slides back into her seat, worry creasing her forehead. Baby, you were gone so long. Are you okay? Maya's heart is still hammering. I'm fine, Mom. Just got a little lost. She's a terrible liar, but Elena is distracted, glancing at her phone with the perpetual anxiety of someone who can't afford emergencies. She doesn't notice the woman now seated at the bar with perfect sight lines to their table. doesn't notice the subtle shift in the restaurant's energy. Maya picks up her fork, trying to look normal. Her pasta tastes like cardboard. Then it happens. 3 men in dark suits enter through the main entrance, moving with purpose, not aggression, but authority bleeds from every gesture. They split up smoothly, 2 heading toward a table near the windows while the third speaks quietly to the maitre d'. The restaurant's ambient noise continues. Soft jazz, clinking glasses, murmured conversations. But Maya sees what others don't, the almost imperceptible nod between the suited men. The way diners at the target table suddenly sit straighter. One of the Russian men, gray suit, gold watch, reaches inside his jacket. It happens so fast Maya almost misses it. The suited men move like water, hands clamping down on wrists, bodies positioning to block any line of fire. There's a brief struggle, a woman gasps, and then it's over. Both Russians are standing, hands behind their backs, being walked calmly toward a side exit marked staff only. The entire event takes maybe 15 seconds. Most diners don't even notice. But Maya sees the scarred bodyguard Leo appear at the side exit's threshold. Sees him make eye contact with Ghost at the bar. Sees the smallest nod of confirmation. Maya. Elena touches her hand. You look pale. What's wrong? Before Maya can answer, a server approaches their table. Young man, professional smile, holding a small envelope on a silver tray. Excuse me, Ms. Chen? This is for you. Compliments of the house. Elena blinks, confused. The server places the envelope in front of her and departs. Elena opens it carefully, pulling out a heavy cardstock note with a single line in elegant script. Your daughter is remarkable. My driver will ensure you both get home safely. MV. Tucked behind the note is $5,000 in crisp hundreds. Elena's hands shake. Maya, what did you do? Maya opens her mouth, but no words come. How does she explain? How does she say she just saved the life of the most dangerous man in the city? The restaurant lights flicker once, just once, and when Maya looks toward the private dining room, Markus Volkov is standing in the doorway. He's not looking at her directly, but she feels the weight of his gaze like gravity. He adjusts his cufflinks, exchanges a word with Leo, then walks toward the main entrance with a kind of confidence that parts crowds without effort. As he passes their table, he pauses for half a second, barely a heartbeat, and his eyes meet Maya's. He gives her the smallest nod. A promise. Then he's gone. Elena is staring at the money like it might explode. Maya. Tell me. Now. Maya takes a shaky breath and begins. The hallway. The Russian voices. The poisoned fish. Her mother's face goes from confusion to horror to something Maya can't quite name. Fear mixed with pride mixed with terror. Oh God, Elena whispers. Oh God Maya, those men, if they have friends, if anyone finds out. He said he'd keep us safe. He's a criminal, Maya. Markus Volkov is. Elena stops, lowers her voice. He's not some hero from your storybooks. He's dangerous. So are the men who tried to kill him. Elena has no response. She looks at the money again, then stuffs it into her purse like it's contaminated. We're leaving. Now. They stand, and immediately Ghost materializes beside them. Up close, she's even more intimidating. Lean muscle, eyes that never stop moving, a thin scar along her jawline. Mr. Volkov's driver is waiting outside, she says softly. A black Mercedes. License plate GH, 2847. He'll take you home. We can get a taxi, Elena says firmly. Ghost's expression doesn't change. I wasn't asking. Outside, the November air bites cold. The Mercedes idles at the curb, rear door already open. A man stands beside it, mid-50s, gray hair, wearing a driver's cap and the kind of alertness that screams former military. Ms. Chen. Maya. I'm Thomas. Mr. Volkov wants you home safe. Elena hesitates, then sees something in Thomas's face that Maya sees too, genuine concern. Not menace. Protection. They get in. The interior smells like leather and something expensive Maya can't identify. Thomas pulls smoothly into traffic, eyes constantly checking mirrors. For 10 minutes, nobody speaks. Then Thomas says quietly, there's a black Escalade. 3 cars back. Been following since we left Ravenna. Maya's blood turns to ice. Elena grabs her hand. Thomas's voice remains absolutely calm. Don't worry. I know what I'm doing. He turns left. The Escalade follows. Another left. Still following. Thomas picks up his phone, never taking his eyes off the road. Ghost. We have a tail. Black Escalade, tinted windows, no plates. I'm going to lose them, but alert Leo. He accelerates smoothly, weaving through traffic with the precision of someone who's done this before. Many times. The Escalade tries to keep pace, but Thomas knows these streets like arteries, cutting through an alley, emerging on a one-way, doubling back through a parking garage. 10 minutes later, they pull up to Maya and Elena's apartment building in Glendale, modest, safe, unremarkable. Thomas turns in his seat. They're gone for now. But Mr. Volkov wants me to stay outside tonight. Just as a precaution. That's not necessary, Elena begins. With respect, ma'am, it absolutely is. Those men in the restaurant? They work for serious people. People who don't forgive failures. When they find out who stopped their plan. He looks at Maya, expression grave. She's a loose end now. And these people don't leave loose ends. The words hang in the air like smoke. Elena's voice cracks. What have we gotten into? Thomas's expression softens slightly. You got into nothing, ma'am. Your daughter did what was right. But right and safe aren't always the same thing. That's why Mr. Volkov sent me. He takes care of debts. Maya stares out the window at their building. Home, safety, normal life. Except nothing will be normal now. Come on, baby, Elena whispers. Let's get inside. As they walk toward their apartment, Maya glances back. Thomas is already on his phone, and another car, a dark sedan, is pulling up across the street. Protection. Or prison. Maya can't tell the difference anymore. Their apartment feels smaller than usual. Elena locks the door, checks the windows, locks the door again. Maya sits on their threadbare couch, watching her mother unravel. Mom. Sit down. Please. Elena stops pacing, sits, stands immediately. I need to tell you something. Something I should have told you years ago. Maya's stomach clenches. About Dad. About everything. Elena's voice breaks. Your father, his name wasn't David Chun. That was a lie. His real name was Anton Kozlov. The Russian name hangs between them like a confession. He was Russian mafia, Maya. Bratva. He worked for Dmitry Kozlov, his older brother, one of the most powerful crime lords in Brighton Beach. Elena's hands shake. I met him at the hospital. He'd been shot, came in without ID, paid cash. I treated him. And God help me, I fell in love. Maya can't breathe. Dad was. He tried to leave. When I got pregnant, he wanted out. Wanted a normal life, a family. But Dmitry wouldn't let him go. So Anton ran, took us, changed our names, hid. Tears streamed down Elena's face. When you were 4, they found us. Anton told me to take you and run. He stayed behind to buy us time. I never saw him again. He's dead. I don't know. Probably. Men like Dmitry don't forgive betrayal, especially not from family. Elena grabs Maya's hands. I changed our names again. Chun was my grandmother's name. I've moved us 6 times in 5 years. I thought we were safe. I thought if I kept you away from anything Russian, anything that might connect us. That's why you hated when I learned Russian, Maya whispers. I was terrified you'd somehow find him. Or worse, they'd find you. Elena's voice hardens. And now you've made yourself visible to the exact kind of people I've spent 5 years hiding from. Markus Volkov may seem grateful now, but these men, they're all connected, Maya. They all know each other. If Dmitry finds out a little girl who speaks Russian saved Volkov's life. She doesn't finish. She doesn't have to. A knock at the door makes them both jump. Elena peers through the peephole, then opens it quickly. Thomas stands there, expression grim. Mr. Volkov needs to speak with you. Both of you. It's urgent. It's almost 11 at night. Now, Ms. Chun. Please. 5 minutes later, they're back in the Mercedes. Thomas drives in silence through empty streets until they reach a building in Midtown, expensive, modern, the kind of place where doormen wear suits. The penthouse elevator requires a key. Thomas has one. The doors open directly into a massive apartment, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking the city, art that probably costs more than Maya's entire life, furniture that looks like it belongs in museums. And sitting in a leather chair, glass of something amber in his hand, is Markus Volkov. He stands when they enter. Elena. Maya. Thank you for coming. Did we have a choice? Elena asks coldly. Always. But I think you'll want to hear this. He gestures to the sofa. Please. They sit. Volkov remains standing, backlit by the glowing city. The men who tried to kill me tonight have been questioned thoroughly. They confirmed what I suspected. The contract came from Dmitry Kozlov. He's been moving against me for months, trying to take territory in Red Hook and Sunset Park. Volkov's eyes lock on Elena. But here's what's interesting. During interrogation, one of them saw Maya. Memorized her face. And when they were captured, before my people could stop them, they managed to send a photo. Elena's face drains of color. A photo. To Dmitry. To his network. By now, he knows a 9-year-old girl who speaks fluent Russian interfered with his operation. Volkov pauses. I need to know, why does a Chinese-American child from Glendale speak Russian like a native? The silence stretches. Elena's breathing is ragged. Because her father was Anton Kozlov, Volkov says quietly. And her uncle is the man trying to kill me. Elena's sob confirms it. Maya feels the world tilt sideways. How did you, Elena begins. I knew Anton. Volkov's voice softens, just slightly. 12 years ago, I was nobody. Ambitious, but small time. I made a mistake, crossed the wrong people. They cornered me in Brighton Beach, 4 men with guns and orders to make an example. Anton was walking by. He could have ignored it. Should have. But he didn't. Volkov touches his shoulder, where a scar must hide beneath his expensive shirt. He shot 2 of them, scared off the others, drove me to a clinic himself. Saved my life. We became, not friends exactly, but allies. When he told me he wanted out, wanted to protect his family, I offered to help. But Dmitry found out first. Anton disappeared before I could reach him. He looks at Maya, really looks at her. I never knew what happened to his family. Never knew he had a daughter. His expression hardens. But Dmitry does now. And he's not a man who forgives or forgets. Elena stands, voice shaking. Then we run. Again. We leave the city, change our names. He'll find you, Volkov interrupts. Dmitry has people everywhere. Airports, bus stations, border crossings. The moment you try to leave, he'll know. He sets down his glass. But there's another option. What option? Maya asks. Volkov looks directly at her. You stay under my protection. I move you to a secure location, provide 24-hour security. Dmitry won't move against you if it means open war with me. And while you're safe, I find Anton. Elena freezes. What? If he's alive, I'll find him. And if he's dead, I'll make sure Dmitry pays for it. Either way, this ends. Volkov's voice is cold steel. Anton saved my life once. I couldn't protect him then. But I can protect his daughter now. It's the debt I owe. Elena shakes her head. You're asking us to trust you. A crime lord. A man who keeps his word, Volkov interrupts. Always. Ask anyone who knows me. Ask anyone who's ever made a deal with me. I honor my debts, Ms. Chun. And I don't let children die for adult sins. Maya looks at her mother, sees the terror and exhaustion and desperate hope warring in her eyes. Mom, Maya says quietly. He knew Dad. He tried to help him. And right now, he's the only one who can keep us alive. Elena closes her eyes. When she opens them, they're full of tears. How long? However long it takes, Volkov says. Days. Weeks. Until Dmitry is no longer a threat. And you want nothing in return? Volkov's smile is thin and sharp. I want Dmitry Kozlov to pay for 12 years of disrespect. Your survival ensures that happens. So yes, I'm being selfish. But our interests align. Elena looks at Maya, then back at Volkov. If anything happens to her. It won't. You have my word. The words hang there, a promise wrapped in threat, a lifeline disguised as a bargain. Elena's voice is barely a whisper. Okay. Volkov nods once. Thomas will take you to a safe house immediately. Pack nothing, everything you need will be provided. As of now, you're ghosts. As they stand to leave, Maya turns back. Mr. Volkov? Did my father ever talk about me? Volkov's mask slips for just a second. He carried your photo in his wallet. Showed it to me once, the night before he vanished. Said you were his firebird, fierce and bright and capable of anything. His eyes meet hers. He was right. Maya's throat tightens. She nods, unable to speak. As the elevator doors close, she hears Volkov speaking Russian on the phone, voice like winter and steel. Find everything on Anton Kozlov. Every contact, every location, every loose end. If he's alive, I want him found. If he's dead, I want proof. And Leo? Make it personal. The last thing Maya sees is Volkov staring out at the city, a king surveying his kingdom, calculating war. And she realizes, she's not a victim in this story. She's the match that lit the fuse. The safe house is in Tribeca, hidden behind a luxury building's nondescript facade. It's smaller than Volkov's penthouse but still overwhelming. 2 bedrooms, a kitchen with appliances Maya's never seen, windows that look normal but feel wrong somehow. Bulletproof, Thomas explains, tapping the glass. 3-inch polycarbonate. You could shoot a rifle at it and barely scratch the surface. Elena sits on the leather couch, still processing. Maya explores, finding closets full of clothes in her exact size, a refrigerator stocked with food, a laptop on the desk with a post-it note, for homework. Monitored for your safety. T. In the main room, 3 men are stationed. Thomas coordinates with quiet authority, checking sightlines and exit routes. Ghost sits by the door, cleaning a handgun with mechanical precision. How long have you worked for Mr. Volkov? Maya asks her. Ghost doesn't look up. 6 years. Do you like it? Now Ghost meets her eyes. I'm alive because of him. That's more than like. Elena approaches. I need to call my work, tell them I'm taking time off. Already handled, Thomas interrupts gently. Family emergency, 2 weeks paid leave. Mr. Volkov's people made the arrangements. He thinks of everything. That's why he's still alive. The night passes slowly. Maya tries to sleep but can't. Every creak, every distant siren makes her heart race. She keeps thinking about her father, Anton Kozlov, a man she barely remembers. A man who saved Markus Volkov. A man who might still be alive. Around 2 a.m., she gives up on sleep and opens the laptop. Her old email account, the one she's kept secret from her mother for 3 years, is still accessible. She hasn't checked it in months, afraid of what she might find. Or afraid of finding nothing. The account loads. 37 unread messages, mostly spam. But there, dated 2 months ago, is one with no subject line and a sender she doesn't recognize, rosebird_remembers@protonmail.com. Maya's hands shake as she opens it. The message is in Russian. My little star. If you're reading this, you're old enough to understand. I can't tell you where I am. I can't tell you if I'll ever come home. But I need you to know, I think about you every single day. I dream about your laugh. I wonder if you still love stories about firebirds and brave children. There's something hidden. Something important. If you ever need it, remember the story I told you. The firebird and the silver key. The answer is where the heart remembers. Be brave. Be smart. Trust the language. Always, Papa. Maya reads it 3 times, tears blurring the words. Then she notices the attached file, a photo. She opens it with trembling fingers. It's her. Age 6, standing outside their old apartment in Park Slope. She's wearing a red coat, holding her mother's hand, completely unaware someone was watching. Someone who loved her. The timestamp shows the photo was taken 7 months ago. He's alive. Maya's breath catches. Her father has been watching her all this time, unable to reach out, unable to come home. But why? And what did he hide? She thinks about the message. The Firebird and the Silver Key. It was her favorite bedtime story when she was little. About a firebird who lost her magic and had to find a silver key to reclaim it. The key was hidden where the heart remembers, and in the story, that meant the firebird's childhood nest. Where the heart remembers. Their old apartment in Park Slope. The place they lived until Maya was 7, before her mother moved them suddenly in the middle of the night. The place where Anton might have hidden something before he vanished. Maya closes the laptop, mind racing. She should tell her mother. She should tell Thomas. But something stops her, the fear that if she tells them, they'll stop her from going. They'll say it's too dangerous, that Dimitri's people might be watching the old apartment. They'd be right. But if her father hid something there, something important enough to risk a coded message, then maybe it's worth the risk. She's considering her options when Ghost appears in the doorway, silent as smoke. Can't sleep. Maya closes the laptop quickly. Just thinking. Ghost studies her with those sharp, suspicious eyes. Thinking about doing something stupid? No. You're a terrible liar, kid. Ghost sits on the edge of the bed. Let me guess. You found something. Some clue about your father. And now you're wondering if you can sneak out of here and check it out yourself. Maya's silence is answer enough. Here's what you need to understand, Ghost says quietly. Dmitri Kozlov has people everywhere. Cops, doormen, cab drivers, half of Brooklyn is on his payroll. The moment you step outside this building, you're exposed. And Dmitri doesn't capture people gently. He makes examples. What if my dad left something? Something that could help? Then you tell Mr. Volkov. He has resources. He can send people. What if it's something only I can find? Ghost is quiet for a long moment. Your father must have been something special. Because you're just like him, brave and stupid in equal measure. She stands. Get some sleep. In the morning, we'll talk to Mr. Volkov. Together. If there's something worth finding, he'll help. But not tonight. Tonight, you stay alive. She leaves, closing the door softly. Maya lies back, staring at the ceiling. The message burns in her memory. The answer is where the heart remembers. Outside, the city pulses with light and life. Somewhere out there, her father is hiding. Somewhere out there, Dmitri Kozlov is hunting. And somewhere in their old apartment, a secret waits. Maya closes her eyes, but sleep doesn't come. All she can think about is the Firebird in the story, how it had to journey alone, how it had to risk everything to reclaim what was stolen. How sometimes, the only way forward is through the fire. She doesn't notice Ghost standing outside her door all night, watching. Doesn't notice Thomas making a quiet call to Volkov, voice low and urgent. Doesn't notice the black van that parks across the street at 3 a.m., windows tinted, engine idling. Inside the van, a man with cold eyes reviews security footage from Ravenna restaurant, pausing on a frame of a 9-year-old girl shouting in Russian. He texts a number saved only as DK. Found her. Elena Chun, daughter Maya. Glendale address. Volkov moved them to Tribeca. Building has security but we can breach. Orders? The response comes instantly. Watch only. If Volkov is protecting them, there's a reason. Find out why. If the girl is Anton's daughter, she might lead us to him. Be patient. Be invisible. The man deletes the messages and settles in to watch. In the safe house, Maya finally drifts into restless sleep, dreaming of firebirds and silver keys and a father's voice calling her name through smoke. Morning breaks cold and gray. Maya wakes to the smell of coffee and the low murmur of voices. In the main room, Volkov sits at the dining table with Thomas and Leo, studying a tablet covered in documents. He looks up when she enters. Good morning, Maya. Sleep well? Not really. Elena emerges from the other bedroom, wrapping a robe around herself. What are you doing here so early? We have a development. Volkov gestures to the empty chairs. Please sit. When they're settled, He turns the tablet to face them. It shows surveillance footage, grainy nighttime, of a man entering a warehouse in Red Hook. This was taken 3 nights ago, Volkov says. The warehouse belongs to one of Dmitri's front companies. That man is Anton Kozlov. Elena gasps. Maya's world stops spinning. He's alive. Elena whispers. Alive. Prisoner. Dmitri's been keeping him for 6 years. Volkov's voice is grim. My people have been investigating Dmitri's operations since the assassination attempt. This footage came from a bribed security guard. Anton is being held in the basement level, under heavy guard. Maya stares at the screen. The man is thinner than she remembers, beard streaked with gray, but his walk is the same. That careful, measured stride. Why would Dmitri keep him alive? Elena asks. Leverage. Information. Maybe both. Volkov pulls up another file. Anton knows things, routes, contacts, operations. Dmitri likely uses him as an asset. But there's something else. He shows them an email, sent from an encrypted account. The Russian is dense with technical language, but Maya catches key phrases, weekly reports, Volkov's movements, supply chain weaknesses. Anton has been feeding Dmitri intelligence on me for years, Volkov says flatly. Every shipment, every meeting, every weakness in my operation. He's the reason Dmitri knew exactly when and where to strike. Elena's face crumbles. No. Anton wouldn't. He would if Dmitri threatened you, Maya interrupts quietly. If Dmitri said work for me or I kill your family, Dad would do it. He'd do anything to keep us safe. Volkov nods slowly. That's my assessment as well. Which means Anton has been a prisoner in every sense, trapped between protecting you and betraying me. So what now? Elena asks. You kill him for the betrayal? The room goes silent. Leo and Thomas exchange glances. Volkov's expression doesn't change. I owe Anton my life. That debt supersedes all others. But I need to know if he sent those emails willingly or under duress. I need to know if he's been playing Dmitri, feeding him false information mixed with truth, or if he's genuinely turned. He looks at Maya. Which brings me to why I'm here. Last night, Ghost reported you received an email. From your father. Maya's stomach drops. Elena turns to her, shocked. You when? Why didn't you tell me? I only found it last night, Maya says defensively. I have a secret email account. Dad's been sending me messages for years. The last one said. She hesitates, then pulls out her phone, shows them the message. Volkov reads it carefully, expression unreadable. Where the heart remembers. The old apartment in Park Slope. It's from a story he used to tell me. The Firebird hid the key in her childhood nest. I think he left something there, something important. Could be a trap, Leo says. Dmitri might know about the apartment, could have people watching it. Or it could be evidence, Volkov counters. Anton was always careful. If he risked sending this message, whatever he hid is worth finding. He looks at Maya. Can you remember the exact layout of the apartment? Any hiding places your father favored? Maya closes her eyes, pulling up memories from when she was 6, 7 years old. There was a loose floorboard in my bedroom closet. Dad used to hide birthday presents there. And behind the bathroom mirror, he had a small space carved out where he kept papers. Those would be too obvious, Thomas says. If Dmitri's people searched the apartment, they'd find those spots immediately. Maya thinks harder. Wait. There was a story he told me. About a firebird who hid her most precious egg inside a stone, and the stone looked ordinary but had a secret hollow inside. She opens her eyes. We had a brick fireplace. One of the bricks was fake, made of plaster painted to look like brick. He showed me once when I was little. Volkov exchanges looks with Leo. That's specific enough to be real. And obscure enough Dmitri's people might have missed it. So we go get it, Maya says. No, Elena says firmly. Absolutely not. We send a team, Volkov agrees. Professionals who can sweep the location, secure it, retrieve whatever Anton left. But what if it's coded? Maya argues. What if only I can understand it? The message said, trust the language, he taught me Russian. Maybe whatever he hid requires knowing something only I would know. She has a point, Ghost says from her position by the window. If Anton wanted to leave a message his daughter could decode but Dmitri couldn't, he'd use something personal. Shared memories. Inside references. Volkov drums his fingers on the table, calculating. If we take Maya to Park Slope, we expose her. But if we don't, we might miss crucial evidence or bring back something we can't interpret. He looks at Elena. It's your decision. Elena stares at her daughter, 9 years old, stubborn, brave, too much like her father. She's a child, Mr. Volkov. She's Anton's daughter, he replies. And she just saved my life. She's proven she can handle pressure. Handling pressure and walking into enemy territory are different things. We'd take precautions. 3-car convoy, Ghost and Leo on close protection, building cleared in advance. 5 minutes inside, grab whatever's hidden, and we're gone before anyone knows we were there. Elena shakes her head, but Maya can see her resolve cracking. Mom, Maya says quietly. If Dad risked everything to hide something from me, I have to try. I have to know what he wanted me to find. The words hang there. Elena's eyes fill with tears. If anything happens. It won't, Volkov says. You have my word. Elena looks at him for a long moment, searching for something. Finally, she nods. Okay, but I'm coming too. That's not advisable. I'm coming. Non-negotiable. Volkov considers, then inclines his head. Fair enough. We leave in 1 hour. Thomas, arrange the convoy. Leo, you're on point. Ghost, close protection for both of them. He stands, buttoning his suit jacket. And everyone? This needs to be surgical. We get in, find what Anton left, and get out. If Dmitri's people spot us, this becomes a war we're not ready to fight. The next hour passes in organized chaos. Maya changes into dark clothes, jeans, hoodie, sneakers. Ghost gives her a bulletproof vest disguised as a normal undershirt, so thin Maya barely feels it but supposedly rated to stop a 9mm round. Hopefully we won't test that claim, Ghost says dryly. 3 black SUVs pull up outside. Leo briefs his team in rapid Russian, showing them photos of the Park Slope apartment building. Thomas checks weapons with the efficiency of someone who's done this 1,000 times. Volkov pulls Maya aside. Once we're inside, you lead. You tell us where to look. But if I or Ghost tell you to move, you move immediately. Understood? Yes, sir. And Maya? If something goes wrong, your job is to stay alive. Not to be brave. Not to be helpful. Just alive. Can you do that? Maya nods, throat tight. They load into the middle SUV, Volkov, Maya, Elena, and Ghost. Thomas drives the lead vehicle with Leo and 2 others. A third SUV follows with 4 more men, all armed, all watching. The drive through Brooklyn takes 20 minutes. The streets of Park Slope look exactly as Maya remembers, tree-lined, brownstones with stoops, families and professionals going about their Sunday morning. Normal. Safe. But Maya sees what others don't, the way Leo's SUV circles the block twice before parking. The way men with earpieces position themselves on corners, pretending to check phones. The way Ghost's hand never leaves her jacket, where a gun must hide. Their old building is a 4-story walk-up, red brick, iron fire escape. Maya hasn't been here in 2 years, but muscle memory kicks in. 23 steps to the front door, mailbox 2C still dented where she kicked it playing as a child. The apartment is now rented to someone else, but Volkov's people arranged for the current tenant to be compensated for their absence for the next hour. Inside, the apartment feels smaller, shabbier. Different furniture, different paint, but the bones are the same. Maya leads them to her old bedroom, now an office, and points to the fireplace. 3rd row from the bottom, 4 bricks from the left. Leo kneels, examining the brick. He pulls out a knife, probing gently. She's right. This one's hollow. He works it loose carefully. Behind the fake brick is a small cavity, and inside that, wrapped in plastic, is a USB drive and a folded piece of paper. Volkov takes them carefully, handling them like explosives. He unfolds the paper. It's a drawing, childish crayon work, signed Maya, age 4 in shaky letters. A firebird with red and gold feathers, surrounded by hearts. But when Volkov tilts it toward the light, Maya sees something else. Tiny writing in the margins, nearly invisible in Russian. It's a cipher, she whispers, moving closer. Dad taught me this when I was little. He called it our secret code. The writing is dense, coded with numbers and Cyrillic letters. But Maya recognizes the pattern, a substitution cipher using dates from her birthdays and her mother's. I can decode it, she says, but I need time. And paper. We do it at the safe house, Volkov decides. Leo, anything else? Leo searches thoroughly, but finds nothing. That's it. Then we leave. Now. They're halfway down the stairs when Thomas's voice crackles over the radio. We have a problem. White van just pulled up across the street. 4 men getting out, military bearing. They're not ours. Volkov's expression hardens. Dimitri's people. How fast can we move? Back exit through the alley, Ghost says. But if they're smart, they'll have it covered. They're smart, Leo confirms. They reach the ground floor. Through the front window, Maya sees the men spreading out, not rushing but moving with purpose. One speaks into a phone. They made us, Thomas says over the radio. Falling back to secondary position. Volkov makes a decision. Ghost, take Maya and Elena through the basement to the back alley. We'll draw them away. Thomas, when Ghost signals, bring the car around. You're using yourself as bait? Elena protests. I'm the target they want. Your leverage. Let's keep it that way. He looks at Ghost. Keep them safe. Ghost nods once, taking Maya's arm. Come on. The basement is dark, musty, filled with old furniture and storage lockers. Ghost moves through it like she has night vision, leading them to a door that opens onto a narrow alley behind the building. Cold air hits Maya's face. The alley is empty except for dumpsters and graffiti. Stay close, Ghost whispers, gun drawn now, checking corners. They're 10 feet from the street when a man steps out from behind a dumpster. Tall, shaved head, tattoos climbing his neck. He says something in Russian, a command to stop. Ghost doesn't hesitate. She fires twice, suppressed shots that sound like coughs. The man drops. Elena screams. Maya can't process what just happened. Move. Ghost shoves them forward, into the street where Thomas's SUV squeals around the corner. They pile in. Thomas accelerates before the doors even close. Gunfire erupts behind them, sharp cracks, spiderwebbing the rear window. The bulletproof glass holds, but Maya can see the impacts, see how close death just came. Everyone okay? Thomas barks. We're good, Ghost confirms. Volkov. Leo has him. They're taking the secondary route. Converge at Point Beta. The SUV weaves through traffic, running 2 red lights. Maya clutches the USB drive and her childhood drawing, both now marked with fingerprints and fear. Elena holds her, whispering prayers or curses, Maya can't tell which. Point Beta turns out to be a parking garage in downtown Brooklyn. The 3 SUVs arrive within minutes of each other. Volkov emerges from Leo's vehicle, tie loosened, a cut on his cheek but otherwise unharmed. Everyone accounted for, he asks. 1 hostile down, Ghost reports. 3 escaped. They'll know we found something. Volkov looks at the items Maya clutches. Then we need to know what Anton left before Dmitri figures out we have it. He meets Maya's eyes. How fast can you decode that message? Maya stares at her childhood drawing, at the secret code hidden in the margins. Give me an hour. You have 30 minutes, Volkov says. After that, we have to assume Dmitri knows what we're looking for. And he'll do anything to get it first. They pile back into the vehicles, racing against a clock that's already counting down. Maya stares at the drawing, at the firebird she created when she was too young to understand what she was really drawing. A symbol of hope. A map to the truth. And possibly, the key to her father's survival. The safe house feels different now, less sanctuary, more war room. Volkov clears the dining table, and Maya spreads out her old drawing, a notepad, and a pen. Elena hovers nearby, chewing her thumbnail. Ghost and Leo stand by the windows, watching the street. Tell me how the cipher works, Volkov says. Maya points to the margin writing. See these numbers? They correspond to letters using a key based on important dates. My birthday, May 14th, becomes 5 to 14. Mom's birthday, their anniversary, dates I wouldn't forget. She starts writing. Each number shifts the alphabet position. It's slow but unbreakable unless you know the personal context. She works methodically, translating Cyrillic to English, substituting numbers for letters, watching words emerge like ghosts from fog. 10 minutes in, she has the first sentence. If you're reading this, I'm either dead or might as well be. Elena inhales sharply. Maya keeps writing. Dmitri has kept me alive for 6 years. He thinks I work for him, feeding him intelligence on Volkov's operations, identifying weaknesses, planning strategies. What he doesn't know is that I've been playing him. 60% truth, 40% lies. Just enough accuracy to keep me valuable, just enough misdirection to keep Volkov alive. Volkov leans forward, reading over her shoulder. I've documented everything. Every order Dmitri gave me. Every shipment I helped him intercept. Every payment to corrupt officials. It's all on the USB drive, encrypted with a password only my daughter would know. The evidence is enough to bring down Dmitri's entire network and dozens of corrupt cops and politicians in his pocket. Maya's hands shake as she continues. But the real secret is bigger. Dmitri isn't just Russian mafia anymore. 3 years ago, he made a deal with a federal agent, Special Agent Marcus Hale, who runs protection for him in exchange for intel on other criminal organizations. Dmitri gives up small fish, Hale protects the big operations. They've been running this scam for years. Jesus, Leo mutters. A federal agent? Maya keeps translating. I have recordings. Documents. Proof of money transfers. It's all on the drive. But Maya, listen to me, this information is dangerous. If you're reading this, Dmitri probably knows you exist. He'll hunt you. He'll use you against me or against Volkov. Your only chance is to give this evidence to someone who can't be bought. Someone Dmitri fears. The final line makes Maya's blood run cold. Give it to Marcus Volkov. Tell him I'm sorry for the betrayal. Tell him I never stopped trying to protect the people I loved. Tell him the password is Firebird 1425. And tell him if I'm still alive, I'm ready to finish this. All he has to do is ask. Silence falls over the room. Volkov stares at the decoded message, jaw tight. He's been playing Dmitri for 6 years. Feeding him just enough truth to stay alive while sabotaging him from inside. He's a hero, Elena whispers. He's a dead man if Dmitri finds out, Leo corrects. Volkov takes the USB drive, plugging it into a laptop. Firebird 1425. Maya's birthday. He types the password. The drive unlocks. Files flood the screen, hundreds of them. Audio recordings, scanned documents, spreadsheets tracking payments and shipments. Years of evidence, meticulously organized. Volkov opens a random audio file. Dmitri's voice fills the room, speaking Russian. The shipment comes through Red Hook on the 23rd. Hale's people will wave it through customs. Once it's distributed, we split the profits 60 to 40. Another voice, American, confident, and if anyone asks questions? They won't. You've made sure of that. But if they do, we have names ready. Small dealers we can sacrifice. The kind of arrests that make headlines and keep the real operation safe. Volkov's expression is carved from ice. Marcus Hale. FBI. I've heard the name, he's built a reputation taking down trafficking rings. He laughs bitterly. All while running protection for the biggest trafficker in New York. This evidence could destroy both of them, Thomas says. If we can get it to the right people, Ghost adds. If we hand this to the wrong agent, someone in Hale's pocket, we're dead and the evidence disappears. Volkov thinks, fingers steepled. There's someone. Deputy Director Sarah Chun at the FBI. She's been investigating corruption in the New York field office for 2 years. Can't prove anything, but she's incorruptible. Chinese American, no ties to the Russian community, impossible to buy. He looks at Elena. Any relation? Elena shakes her head. Chen's a common name. But if she's investigating the FBI, she's our best shot. Volkov makes a decision. Leo, arrange a meet with Chen. Anonymous tip, secure location. We give her the drive, let the FBI civil war play out. While they're destroying each other, we extract Anton. Extract him how? Maya asks. If Dimitri's warehouse is guarded. It won't matter once Hale is arrested. Dimitri will lose his federal protection, his cop contacts, half his muscle. He'll be vulnerable for the first time in years. Volkov's smile is sharp. And that's when we move. Thomas nods. I'll reach out to my contact in the bureau. Someone who can get a message to Chen without it being intercepted. Do it fast. Once Dimitri realizes we found Anton's evidence, he'll move to silence him permanently. Volkov looks at Maya. You did well. Your father would be proud. Maya stares at the files on the screen, years of her father's life, sacrificed to protect them and gather evidence. When you get him out, can I see him? When we get him out, Volkov corrects gently, you'll have all the time in the world. But his eyes tell a different story. Eyes that have seen too many rescues fail, too many good people die for noble causes. Elena sees it too. What aren't you saying? Volkov is quiet for a moment. Anton has been Dimitri's prisoner for 6 years. He's been forced to betray people, make decisions no one should make. When we find him. He pauses. He may not be the same man you remember. I don't care, Elena says fiercely. I don't care if he's broken or damaged or changed. He's still Anton. He's still hers. She grips Maya's shoulder. And we're getting him back. Volkov nods slowly. Then we better move fast. Over the next 4 hours, things accelerate. Thomas makes contact with his FBI source. A meeting with Deputy Director Chen is arranged for midnight at a neutral location, a church in Morningside Heights, public enough to be safe, private enough to talk. Volkov personally copies the drive's contents, creating backups and encrypting them with multiple passwords. If Dimitri somehow gets to Chen, we need insurance. At 11 p.m., they leave. Smaller team this time, just Volkov, Ghost, Leo and Maya. Elena wants to come, but Volkov refuses. If this goes wrong, Maya needs her mother alive and free. You stay here with Thomas. If you don't hear from us by 2 a.m., Thomas gets you out of the city. Elena looks like she wants to argue, but she just pulls Maya into a fierce hug. Be careful. Be smart. Come back to me. I will, Mom. The drive to Morningside Heights is tense. Maya watches the city slide past. Sunday night, streets quieter, fewer witnesses. The church is small, Gothic, squeezed between taller buildings. A light burns in one window. They park a block away. Leo goes in first, clearing the interior. His voice crackles over the radio, clean. She's here. Alone. Volkov takes the USB drive from his pocket, hands it to Maya. You give it to her. You tell her what your father did. It'll mean more coming from you. Maya nods, throat dry. Inside, the church is all dark wood and stained glass, shadows pooling between pews. A woman stands near the altar, late 40s, Asian features, wearing a practical coat and the kind of tired expression that comes from years of fighting losing battles. She turns when they enter. You have 5 minutes. Make it count. Volkov gestures to Maya. This is Maya Chun. Her father is Anton Kozlov. He's been Dmitry Kozlov's prisoner for 6 years, forced to work as an informant while secretly gathering evidence. Everything you need is on this drive. Maya steps forward, holding out the USB drive. My dad risked everything to get this information. He documented Dimitri's operations and his deal with Agent Marcus Hale. There are recordings, financial records, everything. Sarah Chen's expression doesn't change, but something sharpens in her eyes. Marcus Hale. You know him? Volkov asks. I've suspected him for 18 months. Dealer arrests that are too clean, investigation that stall at convenient moments, witnesses who disappear. She takes the drive. But I've never had proof. If this is real. It's real, Volkov interrupts. Anton Kozlov spent 6 years compiling it. And if you don't move fast, Dmitri will kill him to silence him. Chun studies them, a crime lord, a child, bodyguards with obvious weapons. A meeting that breaks every FBI protocol. Why come to me? Because you're incorruptible, Volkov says simply. Everyone knows it. That's why Hale's people have kept you away from anything related to Russian organized crime. They're afraid of you. Chun almost smiles. Flattery from Marcus Volkov. I must be living right. She pockets the drive. I'll verify the contents. If it's legitimate, I'll move tonight. But understand, this will be chaos. Every arrest I make tips off others. Some will run, some will fight. People will die. People are already dying, Volkov counters. At least this way, it means something. Chun looks at Maya. Your father, Anton. Where is he now? Dimitri's warehouse in Red Hook. Pier 19. You know this for certain? Volkov's intelligence confirmed it, Maya says. But we can't get him out while Dmitri has federal protection. That's why we need you. Chun nods slowly. If I do this, if I arrest Hale and start taking down Dimitri's people, what do you get out of it? I get to save the man who once saved me, Volkov says. I get to honor a debt. And I get to watch Dmitri Kozlov lose everything he built on lies and corruption. And after? You two just walk away. I'm not a saint, Deputy Director. I won't pretend this makes me a hero. But Anton Kozlov is. Volkov's voice hardens. He deserves to come home. His daughter deserves her father. Make that happen, and what I do afterward is irrelevant. Chun weighs this for a long moment. Then she extends her hand. You get me more than I've had in 2 years. I'll get you your chance at Dmitri. But the moment you step outside the law, the moment you cross lines I can't ignore, I will come for you too. Volkov shakes her hand. Understood. Good. Now get out of my city before I change my mind. They leave quickly. In the SUV, Leo exhales. That was either the smartest thing we've ever done or the stupidest. Both, Ghost mutters. Volkov checks his watch. Chun will verify the drive's authenticity within 2 hours. If she's as smart as I think, she'll start making arrests by dawn. Which means we have maybe 6 hours before Dmitri realizes he's under attack. And then? Maya asks. Then we get your father out. Before Dmitri decides a dead informant is better than a captured one. They drive through the empty streets, racing against a dawn that will bring either salvation or slaughter. Maya clutches her Firebird drawing, the decoded message burned into her memory. I'm ready to finish this. All he has to do is ask. Hang on, Dad, she thinks. We're coming. Behind them in the church, Sarah Chun uploads the USB drive's contents to a secure server, calls her most trusted agents, and begins the process that will shake the FBI to its foundation. And in a warehouse in Red Hook, Anton Kozlov sits in his cell, unaware that his daughter just set in motion the end of everything. The safe house at 4 a.m. feels like a held breath. No one sleeps. Thomas monitors police scanners and encrypted news feeds. Elena paces, wearing a path in the carpet. Maya sits at the dining table, unable to look away from her phone, waiting for news. Volkov stands by the window, phone pressed to his ear, speaking rapid Russian. When he hangs up, his expression is grim satisfaction. Chun moved fast. Hale was arrested an hour ago at his home in Westchester. 6 other agents taken into custody simultaneously, all of them on Dimitri's payroll. He pulls up a news alert on his phone. FBI corruption scandal, special agent arrested in connection with organized crime. They're calling it a corruption probe, Leo reads over his shoulder. No mention of Dmitri yet. Chen's being careful. She'll roll out the arrest strategically, building the case publicly while moving on Dmitri privately. Volkov's phone buzzes. He reads the message, then shows it to Leo. Dimitri's known associates being picked up. Witnesses being secured. Warrant for Dmitri Kozlov signed. Moving on Pier 19 at 0700. If you want your window, it's now. Volkov looks at his watch. We have 2 hours before the FBI hits that warehouse. That's our window, after Dimitri realizes he's lost Hale but before he's arrested. He'll be panicking, Ghost says. Burning evidence, moving assets, eliminating loose ends. Including Anton, Elena whispers. We go in now, Volkov decides. Small team, quick extraction. We grab Anton and get out before the FBI arrives. Chen doesn't know we're coming, let's keep it that way. What's the plan? Thomas asks. Leo pulls up schematics on the laptop. Pier 19 warehouse, 3 levels. Anton is held in the basement according to surveillance. Dimitri keeps 4 guards on rotation, 2 on each shift. But if he's panicking, there could be more, Volkov finishes. Or fewer, if he's pulled people to protect other assets. Either way, we move fast. Ghost, you're on point. Leo and I go in through the loading dock. Thomas, you stay with the vehicle for extraction. If this goes sideways, you get Elena and Maya out of the city. I'm coming, Maya says. Absolutely not, Elena and Volkov say simultaneously. You need me. What if Dad's locked in a cell? What if there's a code or a password only I would know? Then we'll call you, Volkov says firmly. Maya, you've done enough. More than enough. Let us finish this. Maya wants to argue, but she sees the resolve in his eyes. And the fear in her mother's. Okay, she whispers. But you bring him back. I will. I promise. 20 minutes later, they're ready. Ghost and Leo in tactical gear, suppressed weapons, communication headsets. Volkov in dark clothing, looking less like a crime lord and more like a soldier. He stops at the door, looks back at Maya. Your father was brave enough to sacrifice 6 years for you. Now I need you to be brave enough to let us bring him home. Then they're gone. Elena pulls Maya close. Thomas stands by the window, rifle in hand, watching the street. The apartment feels too quiet, too empty. Maya watches the clock. 5:17 a.m. The sun will rise soon. The warehouse district at dawn is all rust and shadows, abandoned buildings and silent cranes. Volkov's SUV parks 3 blocks away, behind a shuttered shipping container yard. Ghost moves first, silent as her name, approaching the warehouse's perimeter. The building is massive, corrugated metal, broken windows, graffiti-tagged walls. A single door on the east side shows signs of use, new lock security camera. Camera's active, Ghost reports through the headset. I can loop the feed, give us 90 seconds. Do it, Volkov confirms. Leo picks the lock in 12 seconds. They slip inside, a vast space filled with pallets and equipment, dust motes floating in the dim light from high windows. Stairs descend into darkness at the far end. They move in formation, Ghost leading, Volkov and Leo covering. The basement stairs are concrete, steep, ending at a steel door with a keypad lock. Anton's behind there, Volkov whispers. Leo examines the keypad. 4-digit code. I can crack it, but it'll take. The door opens from inside. A guard stands there mid-30s, tattoos visible under his rolled sleeves, hand reaching for his holstered weapon. Ghost moves like lightning, striking his throat, disarming him, dragging him aside before he can make a sound. Leo zip-ties his hands and feet, gags him with duct tape. Through the open door is a concrete hallway, 3 cells visible. 2 empty. 1 occupied. Volkov approaches slowly. The man in the cell sits on a cot, head in his hands. Thinner than in the surveillance photos, beard unkempt, but unmistakable. Anton Kozlov looks up. For a moment, neither man moves. 6 years and 1,000 betrayals hang between them. Marcus. Anton's voice is rough, disbelieving. How? Your daughter. She saved my life. Led me to your evidence. And now I'm here to honor a 12-year-old debt. Volkov gestures to Leo, who begins working on the cell lock. We're getting you out. Anton stands shakily. Dimitri is finished. FBI is moving on him in 90 minutes. His pet federal agent was arrested 2 hours ago. It's over, Anton. The lock clicks open. Anton steps out, swaying slightly. Leo catches his arm. My family. Safe. Maya and Elena are both safe. Volkov's expression softens marginally. Maya decoded your message. The cipher with the dates. She's smart, Anton. Brave. Everything you said she'd be. Anton's eyes fill with tears. I haven't seen her since she was 4. Does she remember me? She learned Russian to remember you. Kept a secret email account to receive your messages. She's been looking for you her whole life. Anton makes a sound halfway between a laugh and a sob. Then let's not keep her waiting. They're halfway back through the warehouse when Ghost's voice crackles urgently, multiple vehicles approaching. Fast. Armed men deploying, this isn't FBI. Dmitri. Volkov asks. Has to be. He must have people watching. Saw us enter. They break into a run. Behind them, doors crash open, shouts in Russian echoing through the warehouse. Out the south exit. Ghost directs, laying down suppressing fire as men pour into the building. They burst into daylight, cold morning air, empty streets. Thomas has moved the SUV closer, engine running. Go. Leo shouts. They pile in. Thomas accelerates as bullets spiderweb the rear window, the armored glass holding but cracking. Everyone intact? Thomas barks. We're good, go. Volkov confirms. The SUV weaves through industrial streets, pursued by 2 black sedans. Ghost leans out the window, firing precise shots at their tires. One car spins out, crashing into a parked truck. The second keeps coming. They're persistent, Leo mutters, reloading. They're desperate, Volkov corrects. Dmitri knows he's lost. This is the death throes of a dying empire. Anton sits in the back seat, gripping the door handle, still processing his sudden freedom. Where are we going? The safe house. To your family. The word family breaks something in Anton's carefully maintained composure. He covers his face with his hands. The second sedan is closing distance. Thomas takes a hard right, then a left, losing their tail in a maze of morning delivery trucks and early commuters. 10 minutes later, they're clear. 20 minutes after that, they pull up to the Tribeca building. In the penthouse, Maya stands by the window, watching the sunrise paint the city gold and pink. She hears the elevator ding. Turns. The doors open. And there he is. Older. Thinner. Scarred by years she can't imagine. But his eyes, those are her father's eyes, exactly as she remembers from fragmented toddler memories. Maya. His voice breaks on her name. She can't speak. Can only run. Anton drops to his knees as she crashes into him, wrapping her arms around his neck, holding on like he might disappear if she lets go. Papa, she whispers in Russian. You came back. I never left, Malishka. I was always watching. Always waiting. He pulls back, studying her face with wonder. Look at you. So big. So brave. Elena stands frozen in the doorway, tears streaming. Anton sees her, and his expression crumbles completely. Elena. God, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry I left. I'm sorry I couldn't protect you. I'm sorry. She crosses the room in 3 steps, pulls him into an embrace that speaks of 6 years of grief and fear and desperate hope. Maya steps back, letting them have their moment. Volkov watches from near the elevator, expression unreadable. Then Anton looks up, sees him. Marcus. Thank you. We're even now, Volkov says quietly. You saved me. I saved you. The debt is paid. It's more than that, and you know it. Volkov almost smiles. Maybe. But let's call it even anyway. The moment is broken by Thomas's urgent voice. Volkov. Chen's on the line. The FBI just hit Pier 19. Dimitri's gone. Everyone tenses. Volkov takes the phone. What do you mean gone? Chen's voice is tight. He cleared out minutes before we arrived. Someone tipped him off. We found the cells, evidence of recent occupation, but Dmitri and his remaining people vanished. Volkov's jaw tightens. How long ago? Can't be more than 30 minutes. He's somewhere in the city. We've got alerts out, roadblocks going up, but... He's coming here, Anton says quietly. He has to. He knows I'm with you. He knows I betrayed him. He'll want to finish this himself. Volkov ends the call, mind already calculating. How much time do we have? Not much, Anton says. Dmitri has people everywhere. If he saw us leave the warehouse, if anyone reported this location. He looks at his family, fear naked on his face. We need to leave. Now. No, Volkov says flatly. We're done running. Dmitri is finished, his federal protection is gone, his network is collapsing, the FBI has warrants out. He's a dead man walking, he just doesn't know it yet. That makes him more dangerous, not less, Ghost warns. A cornered animal. Is predictable, Volkov interrupts. He'll come here because it's the only move he has left. So we let him come. And we end this. Elena pulls Maya closer. You're talking about a firefight. With my daughter in the building. I'm talking about being ready. Thomas, how many men can we have here in 10 minutes? 8. Maybe 10 if I call in favors. Do it. Leo, lockdown protocols. Every entrance covered, cameras monitored. Ghost, you take Elena and Maya to the safe room, the one in the master bedroom. Reinforced walls, separate exit if needed. I'm not hiding in a closet while you fight my brother, Anton says. Volkov turns to him, expression hard. You've been a prisoner for 6 years. You're malnourished, injured, probably suffering from PTSD. You're a liability in a fight, Anton. The best thing you can do is survive. He's my brother. He's a monster who enslaved you, forced you to betray people, threatened your family. He stopped being your brother the day he chose power over blood. Volkov's voice softens marginally. Let me do this for you. Let me be the villain so you don't have to be. Anton looks at Maya, at Elena, then back at Volkov. Finally, he nods. Okay. But I want a gun. Just in case. Volkov hands him a pistol from Leo's bag. Safety's here. 15 rounds. Don't use it unless you have to. The next 10 minutes are organized chaos. Thomas's people arrive, hard men with harder eyes, professionals who fought beside Volkov before. They take positions at windows, doors, the stairwell. Leo sets up a camera feed on the laptop, showing 6 different angles of the building's perimeter. In the master bedroom, Ghost shows Elena and Maya the safe room, a reinforced closet with a steel door, supplies, and an emergency exit through the adjacent apartment's ventilation system. If you hear gunfire, you lock this door and you wait, Ghost instructs. Don't open it for anyone except me or Volkov. Not Thomas, not Leo, not even Anton unless I'm with him. Understood. Understood, Elena says, though her voice shakes. Maya looks at Ghost. You'll keep him safe? My dad. Ghost's expression softens. I'll try, kid. That's all anyone can promise. Back in the main room, Volkov stands by the window, watching the street below. Anton joins him, moving stiffly. 6 years, Anton says quietly. 6 years I've been waiting for this moment. Planning it. Dreaming about what I'd say to Dmitri when I finally faced him. And now. Now I realize there's nothing to say. He made his choices. I made mine. Words won't change what we've become. He pauses. Will you kill him? If he gives me no choice. But I'd prefer he rot in a federal prison, knowing he lost everything. Volkov glances at him. What would you prefer? Anton is quiet for a long moment. I'd prefer he never existed. But since that's not an option, I want him alive long enough to know he failed. That after everything he did, I still protected my family. I still won. Then that's what we'll aim for. Thomas's voice cuts through, movement. 2 vehicles approaching from the south. Black SUVs, tinted windows. Everyone tenses. Leo pulls up the camera feed. The SUVs park half a block away. Doors open. Men emerge, 6 of them, tactical gear, weapons visible. And then another figure steps out of the lead vehicle. Tall, aristocratic features, silver hair slicked back, wearing an expensive suit like he's attending a business meeting rather than a siege. Dmitri Kozlov. Even through the camera, his presence is magnetic and terrible. He surveys the building with the calm of someone who believes he's already won. He brought 6 men, Leo counts. But there could be more in the vehicles or waiting as backup. Against our 10, Thomas notes. Not great odds for him. He doesn't care about odds, Anton says. He cares about proving a point. Showing that even in defeat, he's still the apex predator. Volkov's phone rings. Unknown number. He answers, putting it on speaker. Dmitri's voice fills the room, smooth, cultured, utterly cold. Hello, Marcus. I assume my brother is with you. He is. I'd like him back. I'm sure you would. Unfortunately, Anton doesn't want to come back. Something about 6 years of imprisonment. He was never a prisoner. He was family. Family sometimes requires sacrifice. You have a strange definition of family, Volkov says. Most families don't torture and enslave each other. Most families don't include traitors and whores. The last word is aimed at Elena, wherever she's listening. Anton's hand tightens on his pistol. Here's what's going to happen, Dmitri continues. You're going to send Anton down. Alone. Unarmed. And in exchange, I'll walk away. No violence. No bloodshed. You keep the woman and child. I get my brother. Everyone survives. Fascinating offer. One problem, Anton's not yours to negotiate for. Then I suppose we do this the hard way. Dmitri sounds almost pleased. I have 6 men and nothing left to lose. You have assets to protect, people you care about. We both know how this ends. You're right, Volkov says calmly. You dead or in custody, and Anton finally free. That's how this ends. There's a pause. When Dmitri speaks again, his voice is pure ice. I raised him. I taught him everything. He owes me his life, his skills, his very existence. And he repaid me with betrayal. With lies. With 6 years of sabotage. His voice rises, the first crack in his composure. He deserves to die, Marcus. And you deserve to die for protecting him. So yes, let's end this. The line goes dead. Well, Leo says. Negotiations over. Through the camera feed, they watch Dmitri's men spread out, approaching the building from multiple angles. Professional, coordinated, but also desperate, these are men fighting for a lost cause. They'll try to breach simultaneously, Thomas predicts. Front entrance, service door, maybe the parking garage. Divide our attention. Let them come, Volkov says. We hold the high ground, we know the layout, and we're fighting for something more than money. They've already lost. They just don't know it yet. In the safe room, Maya hears the tension in the distant voices, feels her mother's arms tighten around her. It's going to be okay, Elena whispers, though her voice betrays her doubt. Maya thinks about her father, out there with a gun he probably barely knows how to use. Thinks about Volkov, who saved them because of a 12-year-old debt. Thinks about Ghost and Leo and Thomas, risking everything for people they barely know. Mom, she whispers. What Dad did, gathering all that evidence, playing Dmitri for 6 years, that took courage. Real courage. I know, baby. So now we need to be brave too. We need to trust that good people win sometimes. Elena pulls back, looks at her daughter with wonder and grief. When did you get so wise? I learned from you. And Dad. And even from Mr. Volkov. Maya manages a small smile. I'm surrounded by people who never give up. How could I be anything else? Outside, the first gunshot shatters the morning silence. The assault comes like thunder, simultaneous breaches at 3 entry points, exactly as Thomas predicted. Dmitri's men pour in with tactical precision, moving in pairs, covering angles, communicating through earpieces. But Volkov's people are ready. The front entrance attackers are met by concentrated fire from behind reinforced positions. One of Dmitri's men goes down immediately, another dives behind a pillar pinned. The service door breach goes worse for them. Leo was waiting with a shotgun, the narrow corridor turning into a fatal funnel. 2 men retreat, dragging a wounded third. The parking garage team makes it furthest, reaching the stairwell before Thomas's people engage them. The firefight echoes up through the building, Sharp cracks, shouted commands, the smell of gunpowder. Volkov moves through his apartment like a general on a battlefield, coordinating by radio, repositioning people, reading the flow of combat. Anton stays close, pistol held with shaky but determined hands. They're pulling back, Thomas reports. Regrouping. We hit 3 of theirs, no casualties on our side. Dmitri will escalate, Volkov predicts. He's not here to win tactically. He's here to punish. To make a statement. As if on cue, the building's fire alarm begins blaring. Smoke, thick, black, chemical, starts pouring through the ventilation system. Smoke grenades in the stairwells, Leo coughs. They're trying to blind us, force us into the open. Or flush us out, Ghost adds, appearing from the hallway. This much smoke, the fire department will be here in minutes. Police too. Dmitri's forcing an endgame before the authorities arrive. Volkov makes a decision. Fall back to the penthouse. Controlled retreat, maintain sight lines. We make our stand here. They consolidate positions, furniture overturned for cover, fields of fire established, the safe room door a last line of defense. The smoke makes everything surreal, shapes moving through gray fog, visibility down to a few feet. Then the elevator dings. Everyone's weapons snap toward it. The doors open. Dmitri stands alone in the elevator car, hands empty and visible, suit immaculate despite the chaos. He steps out calmly, as if entering a dinner party. Dramatic entrance, I admit, he says in English. But necessary. This has gone on long enough. You're outnumbered and surrounded, Volkov says, gun trained on Dmitri's chest. FBI is minutes away. You've lost. Perhaps. But I didn't come here to win. I came here to clarify something. Dmitri's eyes find Anton through the smoke. Hello, brother. You look terrible. Dmitri, Anton says, voice hard. It's over. The evidence is with the FBI. Your network is destroyed. Your protection is gone. Surrender and you might live. Dmitri laughs, genuinely amused. You think I care about living? You think after 40 years of building an empire, I'm afraid of prison? He takes a step forward. Multiple guns track him. No, Anton. I came here to tell you something before I die. Something you need to understand. I understand plenty, Anton says. You understand nothing. Dmitri's expression shifts, something almost human flickering beneath the ice. When you wanted out, when you begged me to let you leave, I could have killed you. Should have. That's what the Bratva demanded. That's what tradition required. You kept me alive to use me. I kept you alive because you're my brother. The words explode from Dmitri with shocking emotion. Because despite everything, despite your weakness and your sentiment and your pathetic love for that woman, you're still blood. You're still the boy I raised, the man I taught, the only family I have left. Anton stares, thrown by this crack in Dmitri's armor. I spent 6 years trying to make you understand, Dmitri continues. Trying to make you see that loyalty, that family, matters more than anything. More than love, more than morality, more than individual happiness. His voice hardens again. But you never learned. You kept lying to me, sabotaging me, feeding information to the FBI. You chose strangers over blood. I chose my daughter, Anton says quietly. My real family. The one I created, not the one I was born into. You lost me the day you made me choose between them and you. Dmitri's expression goes cold again. Then I suppose there's nothing left to say. He reaches into his jacket. Everything happens at once. Ghost fires, catching Dmitri in the shoulder. He spins, pulling out not a gun but a trigger device. Leo lunges for it, but Dmitri presses the button. Nothing happens. Dmitri stares at the device, confused. Then understanding dawns. You found them. The explosives in the building. Hours ago, Volkov says. You really thought I wouldn't sweep for bombs? You're predictable, Dmitri. Always have been. Dmitri drops the trigger, blood spreading across his expensive shirt. He laughs, a broken, bitter sound. Then I really have lost. Yes, Anton says, stepping forward. You have. But not because you were betrayed. Not because you underestimated us. You lost because you never understood what actually matters. Power without purpose is just cruelty. Loyalty without love is just chains. He crouches in front of his brother. I'm sorry you never learned that. Dmitri looks at him with something that might be regret or might be contempt. Sentimentality will destroy you, Anton. Even now, after everything, you're too soft. Maybe. But I'm also free. And you never were. Sirens wail outside, police, FBI, fire trucks. The siege is ending not with a final battle but with Dmitri bleeding on the floor, his empire already ashes. FBI. Voices echo from multiple entry points. Drop your weapons. Hands visible. Volkov's people comply immediately, setting down guns, raising hands. Dmitri makes no move to resist, too weak from blood loss. Deputy Director Chen enters with a SWAT team, taking in the scene, smoke, blood, a crime lord standing over a dying Mafia boss. Mr. Volkov, she says carefully. Interesting morning. Self-defense, Volkov replies smoothly. Dmitri Kozlov attempted to murder everyone in this building. My people defended themselves. We'll sort that out at the bureau. She signals medics forward for Dmitri. But first, I need everyone's statements. And Mr. Kozlov, Anton Kozlov, you're coming with me. Witness protection until you testify. My family, Anton begins, will be protected. You have my word. Chun looks at Maya and Elena, emerging from the safe room with Ghost. All of you. Whatever your associations, you've done the right thing here. That counts for something. As FBI agents secure the scene, as medics work on Dmitri's shoulder wound, as the chaos of aftermath settles into the tedium of procedure, Maya watches her father. He's alive. They're all alive. And somewhere in the ruins of Dmitri's empire, justice is finally, imperfectly, taking root. Volkov catches her eye across the room. Gives her the smallest nod. The debt is paid. 3 months later. The FBI safe house in upstate New York is nothing like the Tribeca penthouse. Modest, suburban, deliberately unremarkable. But it has a backyard, and a swing set, and windows that let in actual sunlight. Maya sits on the back porch, doing homework. Inside, she can hear her parents talking, tentative, careful, rebuilding something that was broken 6 years ago but never completely destroyed. Her phone buzzes. A text from an unknown number. How's the new school? Maya smiles. She saves the number under a new contact, VK. It's okay. Kids are normal. Teachers don't know I helped take down a Russian crime syndicate. Weird being invisible again. The response comes quickly. Invisibility has its advantages. Trust me. How's business? Boring. Legal. Your father's testimony is making life complicated for everyone who isn't me. I may actually have to start paying taxes. Maya laughs out loud. Her mother glances out, sees her smiling, and something in Elena's face relaxes. Thank you, Maya texts. For everything. I know you did it because of Dad, but still. Thank you. The response takes longer this time. Your father saved my life when I was nobody. You reminded me that debts matter. That honor isn't just a word. I'm the one who should be grateful. Another message follows. But Maya, and I mean this, stay out of trouble. No more overhearing assassination plots. No more heroics. Be a kid. You've earned it. I'll try. No promises though. Just like your father. Impossible and brave in equal measure. Take care of him. You too, Mr. Volkov. The conversation ends. Maya sets down her phone, watches a cardinal land on the fence. Normal. Safe. Boring. She loves it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe and tell me where you are watching from in the comments.